to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, it's part of the show. Didn't they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars? Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged, caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Imposter truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of gish galloping wars. No remedy can save the lost, in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is delight in a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know. Intoxicated 8 makes you believe you're spinning in space while you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate, how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate, forced to try and awake with a full plate. No one to help me stay awake or educate. I've had to liberate and fight through hidden gates. But my brother, heaven could never be late, and rockets don't work in space. It's all fake, the show is on Mars. It's a joke, but you're too far gone, it won't be long. Fepe's beak is strong. We have our song and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond, and lives of truth that hits the bong and sings the song, turns mankind from the wrong. We come in peace with a holy gown and all of us wearing our holy crowns. So the earth is flat and we probably just won't get along, just to go along. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know.
What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are doing fine today. It's Friday, the 22nd of November 2024. So I have here a North Pole projection right here. Okay, this is the North Pole. You have 0 degree, that's the equator, 15 north, 30 north, 45th degree north, 60th degree north, 75 and 90 degree. And then you go up to 60 degrees south. That's where the Antarctica Treaty is. So I read some of the comments on my video about the AMAP destroys the shields, Jaron and Jake Gibson. Seems to be like there is some influence from the globe and we need to rule this off. Just a few weeks ago, I guess a week ago, Elon Musk, he posted on his X account saying, "We live on a thin crust of solid rock, beneath which is vast ball of molten rock. Earth's core, which generates most of our magnetic field, is minus 85% iron and moves independently from the surface plates, which is why the magnetic pole changes position." And then he has the picture there. So that's why I think that's where the deception is. I don't think, I used to think that perhaps they are shift, but now I'm more convinced more than ever that we have the magnetic mountain right here. And there's no shift in magnetic, I think this is all just propaganda, globe propaganda. So this is how it works. Let's say that this is the right now my compass is point magnetic north. When I normally have my live streams, I'm facing that way. I face south and north is right on my back. That's when I do my live streams, okay? But let's change that. Let's place this magnetic right here in the center. This is the magnetic mountain, Mount Meru. So it should now, my compass should now point to the mountain. So this is how it works. You go around, you circumnavigate the Earth, leaving here from this line, let's call it the meridian. You go around the flat Earth. So you can see here, I don't even have the continents layout. I don't need. I live right here in Tokyo, so we have the Tokyo coordinates, 35 degrees north, 139 east, so that's what I did, 135 right there, 139, 35 degrees north, same thing, let's say Rio de Janeiro, 22 south, 43 west, right there, about 43 west, 22 degrees south. The next one I have Cape Town, 33 degrees south, 18 east. Found the 18 there, 15 by there. And the last one, New Delhi, 28 degrees north, 77 east, right there. And Perth at 31 south and 115 east, right there, about 115 east, 31 south. So I don't even need to have the continents here. All we need are the coordinates. We live on a polar coordinate system. That's what you need to navigate around the flat Earth. We do have the Black Rock, that's why they have the Black Rock, the company. And it's situated right at the North Pole, and that's why our compasses point north, because that's where the magnetic mountain is. I don't believe at all that the liquid is moving, in the core of the Earth. I think this is all globe Earth propaganda, as they always push lies and reject the truth. So that's all we need. We live on a polar coordinate system, and this is how the layout of the Earth is. I hope this video will help some of you. Thanks guys. See you next time. Bye bye. Hello, everyone. We're live here. Matthew Hakim is here with us today. Big shout out. How are you, Matthew?
I'm feeling good, Eddie. How are you doing, man?
Doing fine. Lots of good people here in the
Nice.
chat. Hello, everyone. Expo Spirit, Ramon Gonzalez, Stephen Caro from Alabama, the last Trump, the last Trump. Claire, how are you from Australia? Liaho, Canada. Lighting 300 from Canada as well. So welcome to the show, guys. I got it from Brazil here too, Agua. The water doesn't lie. So we're gonna have Matthew here. We're gonna be talking about some of the topics, that we've been talking the past few weeks. The eclipses main thing. Now, Matthew,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a debate, right? Let me go ahead and share this. You're
Yeah. Oh
coming.
my gosh, that's yeah. Play that one. That's where Will Duffy's just putting it out there that he needs a flat earther to debate on modern day debate against the final experiment.
So you're gonna be on this one.
Yeah, that's gonna be this Friday evening for me.
All right, Friday evening in California, around what, 5 p.m., 6 p.m.
It might be around that time.
Hi, guys. If you are in the US at that time, it's going to be, I don't know what time it will be. Saturday morning for me. I'll be teaching. But if you guys are available, Matthew will be debating. Is that Will Duff, fight the flat earth?
Uh, I'm not sure if Will Duffy's gonna be present. All I know is it's gonna be a one versus one. But yeah, debating about is it a hoax or not? Is it legitimate? And yeah, I already have my material ready. I already have my speech ready, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It'd be nice if Will Duffy shows up and he's on there, as I know he's
Hmm.
probably going to watch it. You know.
Yeah. All right, guys. So if you want to watch it, this stuff, I haven't been following much about the last, the final experiment, whatever. It's just like I think that guy, Zetetic Warrior, he did such a good job, digging out all of that Jaren's contradictions. I couldn't top that off, I mean, he did a great job. He went over like 25 hours of
Well, you
Jaren's
you
footage,
too,
man.
Eddie. Eddie, you did a great job exposing a lot of that because like that information is not mainstream.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and then I am interested to see what they do, like what they're if they actually do recordings or because I'll get into it more on Friday. I don't want to talk about now what I'm going to talk about Friday, the specific, you know what I mean, for strategic
yes,
reasons. Um,
yes.
but yeah, it's a whole thing. It's crazy, man. But whatever
Yeah,
they do, I will consider it. You know, any footage, I'll look at it. But is it
right.
legitimate? You know,
Now, I did press Duffy on the live streaming because that's what the whole thing was brought down in Brazil, They say, oh, we're going to film this 24-hour sun. And then the Brazilian Flat Earthers pressed the guys, let's live stream. That was back in 2023. They had the
yeah,
guys there. They had a Starlink, whatever. No, we can't live stream. We don't have permission. How come you have your phone there just to show, live stream, you know?
yeah,
So a lot of things going on. They can't live
yeah,
stream.
yeah.
They can live stream from the moon in 1969, but they cannot
Yeah.
live stream from Antarctica
I,
in
I,
2024.
yeah, they lost that technology somehow to live stream from the moon, and then now somehow it's questionable if they can live stream from Antarctica. Um, but tell me, they could have gone to McMurdo Base instead, right? Like McMurdo
Yes,
Base has more of a infrastructure, like a logistic infrastructure to you know, what let's say house scientists for doing scientific research. And
yes,
like if it was a real scientific experiment, why would they go to like a tourist area instead of
right.
a
Exactly.
legitimate? You know, that's not even what I'm. one of my points in my speech, but that's a good one. Like they could
Oh
have
yeah,
chose
no,
McMurdo.
but they having any given day about 150 scientists there. You know, any
Yep.
given day. You know, even during the winter there, they stay there. You know, so we don't need really Duffy there to film a 24-hour sun and a bunch of, tourists when you have all those scientists there being there for
Yeah,
like 50 years. You know,
that's another issue. That's definitely another issue that I like to talk about with these guys. There's a
yeah,
lot of issues pop. I mean, even for a non-flat earther, because I was thinking about this a lot. I'm taking it seriously, right? Even from a non-flat earther's point of view, the final experiment is like kind of cringe. It's kind of like what are they doing this for? Why is it these guys doing it? You know? So even if someone was a glober, they could have skepticism about the final experiment, like a reasonable skepticism. So it's just there's a lot of things to unpack, and I'm really looking forward to that debate. That should be exciting. Be
yeah,
really
should be
cool.
exciting. I'm looking forward to. I'll see what I do. I might not be able to watch live because of my work schedule, but definitely I want to hear, man. Uh,
Yeah,
the Brazilians, man. Since the day we were 1 year ahead, always started 2023 there. The guys pressed on, man, until the Globers pulled out. They completely like they don't even talk about this Antarctica anymore. They avoid this, because the flat earthers contacted the people working there in December. Said, "Come on, live stream this stuff," and they said, "No, no, there's no way to live stream this." It's a lot of things that doesn't make sense. Just don't make sense.
true. It's very
Yeah.
true. It just seems to be more questions than answers, and definitely McMurdo's station, right? That's the name of it. It would have been a much better choice to do a
Right, right.
experiment. And I don't know a lot about all the different bases, but I was learning about where they're going to allegedly do the final experiment. And what is it? Union Glacier, right?
Union Glacier.
And, and it's a tourist spot. It looks like just a couple of tents set up. You
Exactly.
know,
They can't leave the area. They can't. They cannot leave the area. Like they cannot
yeah,
go
that's
like
weird.
half a mile
Yeah,
down
that's
south. They
weird.
can't. They can't.
And what is the issue they talk about where they can't leave their tents? Have you heard them talk about that? I haven't.
I heard for
That's weird.
environmental reasons, whatever. They cannot leave that area, man.
That's weird.
Like
Yeah, that's to me
100 feet.
that's obvious red flags there for that one.
A lot of. That's why, man, I brought up all this stuff. Maybe they will have a fake sun 2 miles south of where they are, man. They can't tell the difference, you know?
That's one thing they could do, but I think it's what they're doing is not as complex as that. I think they're just going to straight up lie. That's not in my
Yeah,
speech, but I my personal feeling, like given the people, like my opinion as a just a person, I just think they're gonna lie. It's gonna be like a smaller version of like the moon landing hoax. You know how they faked the moon
yes,
landing? Oh, look at
yes.
we were in Antarctica and we see the sun. Look at this video, and we have
Oh,
to
yeah,
believe them. And that's
yes.
what I just think. I mean, could they use technologies such as the sun simulator? I think it might be possible, maybe. But I just think what they're doing is less complex than that. It's you know what I mean. They're just gonna lie. Given the people
Yeah.
involved, um, given all these things, like I'll get into it more on Friday. But
Okay. Yeah, don't
this
say too
stuff,
much.
yeah. But the stuff you're bringing up is other stuff that like it's bringing up more things. You know what I mean? It's like more things wrong with it.
Yeah, most likely
You
they
know what
will
I mean?
lie. Just like what's his name? Don Petit said he saw stars from the ISS, you know?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that too. Um, why it's like why aren't more people in space? Why aren't more people on the moon, right? And it's like that the reason is because they can't get there. They can't get to the moon. You
Right.
know, I mentioned that in my book. How about if people could get to the moon, people like Elon Musk would be there. You know, Cardi B would be twerking up there. You know, doing selfies or something. You know, the
Exactly.
elites of society would be up there. And if the moon was a physical thing that people could land on, of course the military would use it. You know, the military could put, like a giant laser on the moon, like in science fiction films such as Star Wars. I got to redo my moon landing book with pictures because I think I could have done the moon landing book better. The second book, Eddie, I sent you my second book. It's much better. It's
Thank you.
a
I
it's a
appreciate it.
banger. Yeah, it's a banger. It's a science book concerning it's called Reinterpreting Celestial Phenomena.
All right. Can't
It's
wait.
cool.
Can't
Yeah,
wait to
it's
get
a
it.
banger, man. It's a banger. But yeah, about
Uh,
the that 24-hour sun, yeah, it's just not legit. I mean, the people should be allowed to travel freely, right? Not spend, $750,000 and have an escort with you. You know what I mean? I was looking
exactly.
at those I was looking at those videos on the Final Experiment channel. And yeah, it's cool. They show like a young lady and a disabled guy and another guy that allegedly freely traveling. But then it's right away they mention that it costs $750,000 to do that. And I'm not balling like that to afford that. You know what I mean? I'm not I'm not rich like that. So, and if they need to have an escort with them, that also raises some red flags for me. So the videos on the Final Experiment channel are suggesting that people can freely travel there, but they can't. You know what I mean? And then I think that's also the reason for the deception. All of these deceptions are all pointing to one thing. Eddie, you know what that one thing is all these deceptions are pointing to?
Ah, the fake
That
alien invasion?
No, that the Earth is flat. It's not a ball. That's why they lied
Ah,
about the moon. That's why they're
ah,
lying about the Antarctica. Yes, and the aliens too. That's why they're going to lie about the aliens too, perhaps.
yes. Yeah,
You
of
know,
course,
but it's all
fake space.
deception. Yeah,
Fake
it's
space.
all fake, and I think that's what it's all about. And the inclusion of William Shatner also, that's science fiction.
Yeah,
You know,
science fiction.
until it's open and people can affordably travel there, right,
Yeah,
without escort. Because if it's like at Mount Everest, don't people die climbing Mount Everest? And it's dangerous, right? It's harsh conditions, but they let people just go there if they want, and they die.
they
That's
die,
sad,
man.
but
Actually, there are bodies there. They are never retrieved. They don't retrieve the bodies.
yeah.
It's
So
there.
why doesn't the government stop those people? Because there's nothing
Yeah,
to hide at Mount Everest. There's
exactly.
nothing like they can be at Mount Everest and still be in their globe fantasy, but they cannot be in Antarctica and see that 24-hour sun because that destroys their fantasy. So it's off
Yes.
limits. Probably
Yeah.
also why the North Pole is off limits. There might be something very interesting at the North Pole.
Yes. So
So
I
they
like
just
this
off limit it.
comment here from Flat Facts. Since the sun will be in Scorpio when they are there, is the Scorpio going to rotate around Antarctica too? Think not. Yeah, because look, um, that's the position of the sun right now in the eclipse, and that's why won't be able to see Scorpio because that's the sun is rotating with Scorpio. You know, so
That's an
that
interesting
means
point. Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting point about the
yeah, you can bring it
constellations.
up
Like
on
where
Friday.
I'm
That's the
still
position of the
processing
sun.
that. Like where would it be? Because it would follow the sun. Because if it's in Scorpio, that means the sun is blocking it, right?
Yes,
The sun is
exactly. And it's
it's in the
rotating
sign,
with the
moving.
stars.
But at that latitude, trying to think, they may not even see it. Well, they might see it, but that is a good point. I'll have to consider that.
Yeah.
Like which way would the constellation move? Would the stars even be visible? Because if it, I understand how there might be daylight stretched. That's an
Right.
interesting concept. Like when the theoretical globe gets more than half, uh, you know what I mean? More than half light. You know what I mean? Like that's the
Yes.
impossible day on the globe, the impossible day, right? So that means there on a flat plane, the light stretches out. Like, do you have a diagram of that? How the light, when it's closer to the outer ring, the light kind of
Uh,
bends outward. That's
yes.
interesting. It's a little bit on the Gleason map, but I think after the Gleason's map, they got better light information. And they started figuring out that the globe was impossible. So it was just
Yeah.
another thing that proved the flat Earth.
Now, this is what I have in mind that we can talk today. Right here, the sun will be getting close to Capricorn. Okay. November 28th, about 20 days from the solstice when the sun reaches Capricorn, the southern post. So, what I'm confused about this eclipse that's going to happen, this is the point, Matthew. I brought I'm going to play your video in just a second. But the thing is, this is totality, okay? So, eh, people around here in this area, yes, will be partially, but the person will have to be looking south. And the person in the Caribbean and Central America, we also see partial, but they have to be looking north. Okay, so let's watch your video first and then we get back here. Okay,
Yes, of course, of course.
let's watch it.
Okay, today I want to make a very special video in regards to solar eclipse on flat Earth. So I have a light source over here, simulates sun above the Tropic of Capricorn. I have two observational points, one at the equator, one at 45 degrees north. And now I'm going to introduce my little fake moon thing here, just a little disc on a stick. Now the sun moves faster than the moon. Okay, so the solar day is 24 hours, and then the lunar day, I'm not sure, it's about 29 hours. So the totality moves like this, from west to east, because remember, the sun is moving faster than the moon. All right, let me do that again. Here comes the solar eclipse. There it's in totality for that observer. Then from east to west, the shadow continues. Now I want to show you something. Can you notice that the light on the glass dome magnifier? Watch what happens. Out. On. See that? Then this observer here doesn't happen. Let me do that one more time. It's kind of difficult. I need like mechanical arms. But the person in the south or at the equator, they don't see the eclipse. See that? So once again, the sun moves faster than the moon. So the totality of the eclipse moves like this, from west to east. All right, have a nice day, everybody.
That's cool.
All right, cool.
That's
Thanks
cool.
for the video. All right. So what my point here, Matthew, and then that's what I'm trying to understand, because the totality will be right here. Okay. It will
All right.
start if you see the latitude line is going to start. Like I can show you on the Mercator projection, just so you can have an idea.
All right.
Here. Okay. So it's going to start approximately like 40 degrees north, something like that, around New York, right here. It's going to go down towards the max and then it's going to go up again, right?
Well,
So on
it goes
the,
I think it goes the opposite way. It goes
yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It goes to the opposite way. Uh, but the sun at this time of the year, especially for, those guys, Jake Gibson or whatever, they say the sun is coming here and setting here. That's what I understand, man. Because for us to have a totality here and have both,
Oh,
this
yeah, I see
guy,
what you're saying.
you
Yeah,
see what I
yeah.
mean? Because
The
this guy is
totality.
gonna be looking north and this guy will be looking south. This is
Yes,
weird, isn't
yeah,
it?
I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. South of the equator, the light warps in a way. It bends the opposite direction. But what you've identified is that the shadow does not refract. The shadow is the
Exactly.
proof of where it is. And what it
Yeah.
is the sun's subsolar point coming down on Earth like a light, and then the moon being slower will make the totality move like that. So that's
Right.
really cool. So that's actually a
Isn't that
really solid proof. Yeah, that's a solid proof the sun is circling above. Biblical
yes.
cosmology wins every time. Every time.
Yeah.
It
And
always
also,
wins. That's a good
I
one.
like the point in my Brazilian friends, flat earthers friend, especially on the globe. Just imagine like this total eclipse is going the opposite side because on the globe, the tilt, because of the tilt, it should never happen, you know?
Yeah, it should not
You can
happen because the globe is impossible.
impossible.
Everything of
Okay?
the globe is people. They're just confused about it. They're confused
Yeah.
about how the light warps south of the equator. The sun does it like the sun's path, the analemma. It warps.
Yeah.
That's why it's like that.
So,
And you've identified a key problem for the globe theory.
oh
This is
yeah,
like
definitely.
solid proof that the sun is going in a circle above the earth.
Yes. And also, guys, for you who believe in the globe earth, I mean, remember the tilt, this is summer in the south. The earth is tilted, and it's supposed to be like 24-hour darkness here. And you're going to have a solar eclipse right here, in North America, from Canada, from Northwest Canada to Northeast Canada, going south to Mexico. This is something, And I identified a couple more actually, but this is the one that really, really like this
Yeah,
eclipse,
that one's only 170 years in the future. It's a short
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. I think there's one coming 20, let me see, 20, man, my 1955 we had a similar one. Yeah, they had there's another one come. It's not that far. I think it's 20 something, 2067. All right,
It's
let's
always
check
cool when it
the
happens. Yeah, it's always cool
yeah,
when they happen.
yeah. Aguanamenta from Brazil. So it's Antikythera mechanism, yeah, that proves the circling sun, the Antikythera mechanism. Definitely, that was a great documentary by Vika Drzev, and it's you can't deny. And I don't know. Last week, I think we were talking about the nodes. Remember, I talked about the nodes. It's also identified in the Antikythera mechanism. Perhaps Rahu, Ketu, we don't know what causes the lunar eclipse, but I found it interesting. Like he brought up this idea. Perhaps the moon has these two satellites, but the moon is not a ball; it's a disc. Like it's a disc, goes around. I don't know. It's very difficult to to know what's going on.
The moon, the lunar eclipse, though, how I would replicate that with practical effects. Do you remember how I made the model with the moon cycle using a
Yes,
light?
yes.
Like a practical demonstration of how the moon has its own cycle that cannot be duplicated using the heliocentric model. But what I would do is just use like a little red film, like a transparent, like a red film, and put it right over the light slowly to duplicate that effect of the moon becoming red. Because that's another fascinating thing. Like, how do we figure that one out? Like, how does the moon become red? And then the globe uh, theorists, they say, oh, the one light goes this way and some light goes the other way, and that's why it's red and it falls apart totally. But that's how I would do it with practical effects: is have the moon be giving off its own light with a rotating, almost like call it like a cloaking shield or something, because they could see stars through it. Or perhaps the stars are in front of the moon. I don't think people have considered that yet either. That the stars are below where the moon is, and the moon is below where the sun is, based on these observations.
Right.
Like, but yeah,
See,
what caused it? I
sometimes
don't know
it's,
what caused it.
yeah, we don't know. Sometimes I like it. I don't agree with the vibe of Cosmos moon map, but he came up with
Yeah, me
this
neither.
that the sunspots are really stars in front of the sun, and it makes sense. I looked at one of his videos. The constellations, the position of the constellation during that month, though the months when, like right now, the sun is going to be in Scorpio, so you're not going to be able to see Scorpio. But if a star that's big enough in the constellation is in front of the sun, you're going to identify that as the sunspots, the black spots. And
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, I get that. It's like a little mini solar eclipse, like little
yeah,
tiny
yeah,
solar
right, right,
eclipses
right.
happen.
But with the
I,
stars in front of the sun,
yeah, but I
you know.
think we're in Sagittarius right now, aren't we? Or when does? Yeah, I
We are
think
no,
the
that
current.
we
I
are
think
getting into
Scorpio
Scorpios.
started. No, I think Scorpio started October 20 and then ended November 20 or something like that. And then after that is Sagittarius.
Okay, let me see.
It's just the terms. Yeah, it's just the terms. I think we're in Sagittarius.
This one, where's the sun today? The sun is currently constellation. It says here the sun is currently in this constellation of Scorpios. The current right ascension is blah blah blah. It has everything here. So that's where
Okay.
the sun is,
And
and
then when
it's
does it
gonna
leave? When does it leave? When does it leave Scorpio?
November 25th. It's about to be leaving now
Okay,
today.
yeah. I thought it would have already happened. I thought like when I see
Yeah,
the zodiac, it usually says like 21 to 23, but it's
yeah,
okay. It's different. People are doing it differently.
yeah. A little bit different. So it's leaving Scorpio, and it's gonna go to Sagittarius. I don't know.
Yeah, so for the final experiment will take place in the constellation Sagittarius. So is
Yeah.
Sagittarius going to go around the? It's funny, man. It's a funny concept, but hey,
It
like I said,
is.
whatever they do, whatever their movies are, whatever William Shatner movie is, I'll look at it. I'll consider it at least. I'm not just going to outright say I'm not going to look at anything they do, but then by watching it, we'll be able to see what they did wrong. We'll be able to see the tricks they're doing, and then that will further expose them. I think that's going to be a big one. I think that's why a lot of the Globers, they're not really excited about it as much as they should be. They're kind of acting really weird, and like they've been acting really strange. You know?
I definitely don't see why this is going to help the globe at all because, as I said, if you go 65 degrees north in Alaska, you're going to see the sun 10 degrees above the horizon. And that's 65 north. Now, on Antarctica, you have to go like 79 south to be able to see the sun at the horizon. So I don't think that helps the globe at all. If you have a perfect symmetry, north and south, the tilt, it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense. You
but there
know?
is no tilt. Also, that's another one. There's a lot of these things that are popping up about how this final experiment is just like a hoax and fake. But I think you understand how it's like a mini moon landing hoax. It's like something like, yeah, we went to
Yeah,
this place and did this. And then they say, you have to believe us,
yeah,
as
yeah.
if
That's
as if
gonna
they
be,
can't
man.
fake videos. As if they cannot fake videos. Right?
Yeah,
That's all they've been
yeah.
doing for how many decades? When did they start faking videos? The early '60s. They started just, and Disney
Yeah.
got involved, and it's a fiasco.
50s, I guess, man. I think Disney got
Been a
involved in
long
like in the
time.
50s.
And then
Yeah,
William Shatner, he's been lying about fake outer space for the same thing, like since the '60s. So
right.
decades of like mind control to the people, of propaganda, and it is weird the spiritual implications of them lying about this place we're on. That there it does have spiritual impact. You know?
That's demonic, man. These people are demonic. Totally.
Yeah,
So we
and
got South
motivated by
Korea in the
money.
house. We got
Hey, nice,
South
South
Korea in
Korea.
the We have John
Nice.
Lutz. Hello, John. Casey Lair is in the house. Another Matthew here is in the house. So a lot of good people here. So welcome to the show, guys.
Nice. Nice.
So
Well,
yeah, William Shatner did say it was science fiction also. Yeah, he said that there's no difference between science and science fiction. It's all one thing.
yeah, he's an
That's what he
actor. He's
said.
not a scientist. I mean, he could teach the science of acting, but not like astronomy or anything like that. He's not a scientist.
Well, I have this video, the history of science fiction. And also, I don't know, you saw last week I played a guy, William Burroughs, right? He was studying NASA and the astronauts, interviewing them. And they say that the guys are members of a religion. Remember? I played
I
last
think I
week.
remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that guy, he's a writer, right? He's a writer that he's not a flat earther. He was just not with them. He wasn't in
no,
their
no.
group. And so
He
he was
was,
hanging out with them, and then he's like making comments that, yeah, these guys have like a religious view of this. I
it's all
remember that
based,
one.
all based in science fiction. That's what he said. All of them read like Jules Verne's, uh, the trip to the center of the earth and space or whatever. They all read those H.G. Wells. You know, it's all science fiction based. Everything in the
Well,
globe, man.
we all did, Eddie. We did too. We were all fed that since the time we were kids. You know,
I
every
usually like,
movie,
man.
TV show. Yeah, me too. I liked Star Trek. That was mine. I was kind of into Star Wars, but I didn't like Star Wars as much as Star Trek. I thought those were. I liked how the government was set up in Star Trek. How like the technology helped the people, and they didn't have money, and it's like their main concerns were like taking care of the people's needs and like helping sick people, and but then they add all the bogus outer space things, and that kind of ruins it. But I like that how they did the government in Star Trek.
Yeah. Uh,
But we all grew up with it.
yeah, I remember when I start finding those DVD bunches with whole bunch of sci-fi movies from the 50s. Man, I had you go to Walmart and
Yeah,
buy those DVDs, like 20
yeah,
movies,
yeah.
sci-fi movies.
I,
Man, I watched them all.
and I get those too. I like the ones that have horror movies. Be like 25 horror movies for like $10, and I've never seen any of them. I
I
like
watched them.
that.
The sci-fi movies I enjoyed a lot. And here in Japan is famous for making a lot of sci-fi stuff as well. all those Gundams, Ultraman, Ultra Seven, all that. What's the name? Power Rangers. It all started here in Japan. You know,
Yeah.
and man, I was a big fan of. I had a whole bunch of Japanese sci-fi characters. I threw
Hey,
them all away.
did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
No, no, Dragon Ball Z was like more for my daughter. I was much older.
Okay, yeah.
That had passed my
Yeah.
generation.
I was younger too when that came out. And we saw Dragon Ball Z. So recently I was starting to see the old show and I realized the old show is kind of much better. And in the old Dragon Ball show, they don't do fake outer space. So I was like, wow, that's probably why I'm kind of liking this earlier one that doesn't have space propaganda in it. Anyways,
Yeah. See, Flash Gordon, yeah, Astro Boy was great too here in Japan. You know, yeah, I used to watch all that stuff, man. I loved, man.
yeah.
I mean, that's why when I came to Flat Earth back in 2015, when I first heard, I was depressed, man. I was so
You felt
depressed.
depressed a little bit. I
I
felt it
did.
was funny. I kind of became a flat earther later, but I had seen some flat earth videos, but I didn't have a lot of time to watch like a 10-hour video. Do you remember on when YouTube used to have like 10-hour videos about flat earth?
Yeah, yeah,
They used to promote it. If you
right.
remember,
Yeah, I would,
they
man,
used to
watch
promote
that
it
stuff.
because it generates views. And that's the point of YouTube is their algorithm probably at first said, "Hey, people like flat earth." So I would see it like every day and I wasn't a flat earther.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did all change.
So I've got depressed, and one of my students, he recently, I've been talking about flat Earth, and one day he came to class and said, "Well, so there's no space." I told
Yeah.
him, "No, there's no space." You know?
I I could understand that. For me, I just felt joy and I had laughter. And for me, it wasn't so much the flatness; it was that Earth wasn't moving, and that made me laugh a lot. And I was like, I'm a flat earther, and I would just laugh that I used to think the Earth was moving, and it's not moving. It's very funny.
Yeah. Let me hide this comment here so I can show some of these images. So this
Yeah,
is
love it.
one of the Japanese robots. I really like this one here when I was a kid.
Sure.
I forgot his name, Johnny and his robot,
I
giant
don't think
robot.
I've ever seen that. I may
Yeah,
have
man,
seen it.
that's old because, I'm in my 50s. So this is when I was a kid. I mean, actually, this is back from the 60s, but in Brazil, we watched it in the 70s, you know.
Yeah,
But there
it
is
took it.
one from a movie. I forgot. This is all
Yeah,
Japanese
it
stuff.
takes time. The same thing like how I mentioned Dragon Ball Z. We got it like a something like 5 years, 10 years too late, like after it. Kind of
Right.
like how
Yeah.
American shows will go to the rest of the earth, and they may get it a year later or something. I understand that. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
like this guy? It looks pretty cool, like
Oh,
science
yeah.
fiction, giant robots, like theatrical sets.
Yeah, man. I like this a lot. This is a real one, man. If you go here in Japan, they have like a. So look at the size of this stuff. This is like a truck. No, look.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can
Yeah,
go to visit.
like a dude
Uh,
in a. Wait, is that a real thing built?
it's a real
Is that
thing. It's a
a
real
real?
thing. It's a giant,
Oh,
man.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I think I have seen that. Does that thing move?
Just like the arms, it doesn't really
Okay,
walk.
yeah. A Gundam or something like a
Yeah, yeah,
huge
yeah.
Gundam. That's
You
pretty
can go
cool.
and see this stuff here, man. So I liked this stuff, even when my
Yeah,
daughters were kids, I used to watch and we all watched together. Like I bought
yeah.
DVDs and we used to watch. So it was like oh man, I mean, can't believe it. This is not real.
I
you know?
understand it. Because if it was real, it would be cool. You know, like if I could go to the moon, I will go. I don't like flying, but I will go to if they said, Matt, send a flat earther to the moon, right? And they do a GoFundMe or something. Send a flat earther to the moon. If it was possible, I would do it. You know, and like, but it's just not possible. It's not real. It was it was just a dream everybody had, and we're all waking up from it. That is not reality.
Yeah. Yeah. The other robot that are lost in space. Do you remember
Yeah,
Lost in
danger,
Space?
danger, Will Robinson,
Yeah.
danger.
Yeah.
Hey, they should make that for Will Duffy. Danger, Will Duffy, danger.
This robot it was made in Japan. You know, the guy who designed he designed another robot that's very similar from a movie. I'm trying to remember the movie. It was very
Well, that is
similar.
iconic. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah,
iconic. A lot of people copy that style. I
yeah,
recognize that style from other like robot movies. But yeah, Lost in
yeah.
Space, sure.
Lost in Space. So, but the same guy, it's a Japanese guy who made this robot. He had another one, a black one, for a movie in the 50s, starring Leslie Nielsen. He was really young
Oh
back then.
yeah,
I
yeah, I
forgot the name
remember
of the
that.
movie.
Me too. It was something like Battle in the Stars or something,
Let me
some
see,
sort of
Leslie
sci-fi. Yeah, Leslie
Nielsen.
Nielsen, old movie.
Yeah, Robot movie. Let's see if I find because I know it's
Yeah,
this
right
one right
there.
here. This one. So I had
Yes, he's
this
the
man.
famous robot.
I went to a store here in Japan. They had it like a metal, made of metal. This stuff here, and I
Nice.
had one. I really like that stuff. But so, oh, this stuff's not real. I can't believe it.
Well, think of it. Think of it. Outer space isn't real, but robots are real.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. Of
this
course,
tech,
yes.
like say if you had, a 3D printing and advanced artificial intelligence builders, yeah, you could have a life-size version like that. You know, maybe not right now, but in the future, that's how I think it could be. Like
Yeah,
robots are real, there's technology is real. just
yeah.
it's
That's
just,
right.
now they have to reframe it. They have to reframe all these ideas to exclude concepts such as outer space and galaxies, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I like it. I
So
like reality. Like what the Earth really is. I like it. You know, people could have
yeah,
a really good life on this place we're on. This flat, stationary Earth. People could be really happy.
definitely. Yeah. All right, guys. So we're talking a little bit about science fiction today. It's because
Yeah,
we grew up with this stuff. I
yeah.
grew up with science fiction.
It's good like counseling for globers that are like dealing with the reality of becoming flat earthers, right? Because there's even in these debates, the globers are falling apart. They're not able to do it that well. And this could be like a good counseling for people to say, yeah, we all were like basically like programmed with to believe outer space from the first day we're born almost everyone. So it's like to get out of that, like you mentioned, it can be an emotional experience.
Yeah.
So it's something to consider, you know?
Oh yeah, you'll feel depressed. You will feel like I no, it's the my feeling. It wasn't like it was like man, I wasted time. Believing that stuff. That was my feeling. Like lifetime. Believing it's a waste of time.
Hey,
You
but it's
know.
better to know the truth. Like, why think about it as a waste, right? Because
Yeah.
you had a lot of good lifetime when you used to believe the globe theory, you know, right? Your life
Mm.
was not bad. It's just that only one little part just change that one little part. Like there's no outer space.
Yeah. Matthew, I want to hear your idea because I played that video in the beginning about the. Well, we all know we live in a polar projection, right? polar. It's impossible to navigate on the Earth without this polar coordinate system.
Yeah, the
So
azimuth and
I have,
equidistant map.
yeah. So I have thought about this, you know, because Elon Musk he posted this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
We
I see
live
that.
on the
It's
thin
ridiculous.
crust of solid rock beneath its vast ball of molten rock, Earth's core, which generates most of the magnetic field. 85% iron and moves independently from the surface plates, which is why the magnetic pole changes position. So I don't think that this is true.
Yeah,
I
I don't believe
believe,
him either.
yeah, I believe we have the magnetic mountain here, Mount Meru.
Yeah, what they're
That's
doing, it's all propaganda. That's like globe trolls, like in comment sections, say the same thing. Oh, the North Pole's moving. Polaris isn't at the North Pole. Like they say stupid things like that. And then so now Elon Musk, he has to shill it out a bit. You know, there's
yeah, yeah.
whatever it is. I mean, I voted for
So
Trump, but I don't trust Elon. You know, I don't. You know, they're all caught up with the P Diddy and all that. I don't trust them. Epstein Island. You know,
exactly.
I mean, I voted for Trump, but I mean, I know it's all theater. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. It's
Yeah,
hard to explain. You know, but as for Mount Meru, yeah, that is the center of our world right there. That's the very centerpiece. Polaris being directly above there is the center point of that, and then the celestial disk turns directly above that in predictable concentric patterns. So
exactly.
that
And our
that
compasses point here. I mean, Asia. This is
yeah,
Asia. You're right here in
yeah.
California right now. If you
And what
get
did
your
the guy
compass,
say? Yeah, he was saying it moves like what 30 miles every so many years. It wouldn't even be there, right? The North Pole would not even be there. It's just like
exactly.
it's part of that sets up a couple things. It sets up the moon map of Earth because they suggest also that the North Pole's moving, but also for ideas like axial tilt for the globers. They say, oh, look it, the North Pole's moving. That's proof of tilt. And it's so stupid because their time frame is totally wrong. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like they're not understanding that what they are saying is happening is observably not happening. Just like this stuff from our boy Elon right there.
Yeah,
You know,
man. That
it's a
nonsense.
direct lie, just a direct lie. And then get him like Elon, he could be like buddies with Trump, and then that'll give Elon even more clout or followers or credibility in a sense. But he's
Yes.
just pushing nonsense. He's pushing lies, you know?
Yeah. All right. So let's go back here.
So it is.
Check the comments a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do you have
everything's a
any
show. See what else.
like any
Job.
questions, like interesting questions or
No,
comments?
no question. Everybody pretty much agree with us. Uh, yeah, I agree. No, but we didn't. We were not told that the globe was a theory.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
We were not told.
We were never given the opportunity to choose it. It was a religious belief that was forced on us. Many
Yeah,
religious beliefs that were forced on us. So that's interesting. I didn't even consider that. Yeah,
yeah.
we
We
were
were
never
never
told.
told
We were just
any
shown
of
it
those
in
things.
movies every day, right? We were just shown Star Wars our whole life. Every even before Star Wars, people loved that like fake outer space stuff. That generated a
Yeah,
lot of income. But yeah, we were never told it was a theory. We were just told it was the way it was. And
yeah.
that's not scientific,
It's not, man. It's impossible.
right?
It's an impossibility.
Yeah.
It's an
But then again, it
impossibility.
all that's why this all these deceptions all point to the reality that the earth is flat. That's why they are lying. That's why they lied about the moon and why they're I believe, my opinion, they're going to lie about Antarctica. That's why Elon Musk has to lie about the magnetic pole or the North Pole moving.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why he has to put fake things like movies of like a dude in a car in outer space, right? That's why he does it. 'Cause it's all just to lie about the Earth. That is weird. That's like a weird cult or like a weird religious thing. Like that's not like a beyond a religious thing. It's some sort of weird.
These guys really hate the creator, man. They really hate the creator because they want to hide the creator at all costs,
I think that could be it too.
Yeah.
Like they want to lie about the creation, but really they hate the creator more.
Yeah.
Which is weird because allegedly they're atheists and don't believe there is a God, but somehow this God that doesn't exist, they have really strong feelings about.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
right.
It's very strange. It's very strange how they do that.
Yeah. All right, Matthew, I'm gonna play a song here while I get some more tea. I ran out of tea.
I'm gonna get some water. Okay. Yeah,
so
sure.
Let's listen to a song here, guys. I try to play different songs, but it's hard to get a lot of different Flat Earth songs. But let's listen B.O.B. That's what I got for today. Next week, I'll try to play something else. But B.O.B. is all right. All right, guys, I'll be right back.
See you in a bit.
I have 2 brief questions I'd like to ask, if I may. When you were carrying out that incredible moonwalk, did you find that the surface was equally firm anywhere, or were there harder and softer spots that you could detect? And secondly, when you looked up at the sky, could you actually see the stars and the solar corona in spite of the glare?
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing anything.
9 steps are what you take walking on the moon. I hope my legs don't break walking on.
This time I'd like to introduce the Apollo 11 crew. Astronauts Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin.
Bob, what the hell you doing? What the fuck does Stanley Kubrick have to do with astronauts and movement? Who the hell you fooling? Fuck you and this whole stupid flat earth movement. Well, you don't like assuming if it's science proven. You a college student, shouldn't be assuming green screen, soundstage, soundproofing. Time to film a movie shoot. Gotta use my tools in a glass case, astronaut suit, footprint don't match the boot. Been to the moon once and ain't been back since. And I'm just trying to figure out where the tax dollars went. NASA.
You want me to knock you in the head? Well, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Okay. If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you so we can get along.
Tomorrow's another day. You stay walking on.
Well, I hate your stuff and get the fuck out.
Not a huge fan of the award for the best rapper, but they give the Moon Man award to the best actor. Guess we must go straight to the source. Let's ask NASA. How do you explain the occurrence of lunar waves? Why do we only see 1/2 of the lunar face? How do you explain air bubbles you view in space? Why is it so important to lie to the human race? Million-mile internet that travels light years, but they can show a space shuttle re-enter the atmosphere. Okay, to blast off, you gotta practice Freemasonry, an acronym that stands for not a space agency.
Some may say, I'm wishing my days away. No way, and if it's the price I pay, some say, tomorrow's another day. You stay walking on the moon.
Now put your hand on the Bible. Swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Cybro, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
All right, back here. That was a good song, huh?
Yeah, that's a cool one. That's what's the name of that song?
Well, originally it was by the Police, Walking on the Moon, but this is
Yeah,
just Stanley Kubrick by B.O.B. Stanley Kubrick. That's the
okay,
name of the song,
B.O.B.
Stanley Kubrick.
All right, I'll remember that. Cool.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, man, he, I think about a year or 2 years ago, he gave another interview, and he's still, as far as I know, sticking with flat Earth. He's sticking
Good
with flat
choice.
Earth. Yep. Of course, it
It's like,
costs him a lot, like everyone, if you wanna go this way, it's gonna cost you, and he had to pay a price. People criticize him, but he's sticking with flat Earth. And I'm happy. I don't know
yeah.
about the other people. I don't know about that Tila Tequila. She was famous back in 2015. Don't know what happened to her. But she also came out as a flat earther. I don't know if it's was something momentarily or if she's still, I don't know. I haven't heard from that actress in a
Well,
long time.
you know that flat earthers, we get uh mocked, we get trolled, we get harassed, like legitimately harassed. You know what I mean? So I could understand why people don't want to do it. And I was even watching on one of the Glober shows that they go after people chatting. They'll like, oh, look at how stupid this guy is. And they'll put his name or her name. Oh, they're so dumb. And that they take joy from that. But it just shows their cruel heart.
Yeah.
But
They
that's
have
like,
made fun of me. I don't care.
yeah, they talk some trash about you. I saw that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. If there are Globers that they're just talking about globe science, that's okay. That's their channel. But what's going on is they're just harassing people and they're jerks. Like the people on modern day debate that are Globers, most of them are jerks. Like some of them are nice. Some of them might have like some honesty or you know what I mean? They might have a little bit of that, but for the most part, it's ugly. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like we don't need to mention their names on your channel, but it's like ugliness of the heart what they're showing. And what
Yeah.
if they were? What if my question? What if they did that to the trans community or the LGBT community?
Right. They won't do
They
it.
would get shut down. They would get shut down in a second, less than a heartbeat. If those globe trolls that we don't need to mention their name, if they started attacking trans people, LGBT, they would be done. But
Exactly.
because they're attacking, harassing, doxing flat earthers, it's okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like Google
Same
doesn't care,
thing, man.
YouTube doesn't care, the
Yeah.
government doesn't care.
Same
Can you
thing with
imagine?
Christianity, man. Same thing with Jesus Christ. They make a whole bunch of shows, criticizing the Bible or Jesus Christ, whatever. They won't say anything about other religions. They won't say anything.
Hey, but Jesus doesn't get banned on YouTube. So
No,
maybe with the
I'm
name
talking about
Jesus.
like Christianity, like or the
Oh,
Bible
I
or
know what you mean.
what we
Yeah, yeah.
believe.
In society, it's being attacked.
Yeah,
Christian values, like what we see in the Bible as being the correct way, is looked on in modern society as a bad way. Like it's stupid. They think it's stupid to be a Christian. It's stupid to read the Bible, or it's stupid to think God exists.
yeah.
So,
So
but
but
I think that is harder to fight than flat Earth, though. I think that's why they ban flat Earth, because the atheists can attack the Bible. They can trash talk it, but when it comes to flat Earth, that it's like a total breakdown. They have to hide flat Earth. They cannot hide Jesus.
yeah,
Maybe there's a special thing from God that the demons cannot take the Bible from the earth. Maybe, I don't know. But
Yeah.
we have the Bible. But you know what I mean, though, Eddie? Like if someone just has a channel about King James Bible, talking to what did Jesus say in the King James Bible, that channel will not get shut down. But flat earther, they'll get like, oh, this is what is it called? Misinformation. Flat Earth is an archaic model, right? But what if they did that to the trans community? I don't want them to, of course not. I don't want any group or individuals to get harassed the way flat earthers are getting harassed. You know what I mean? I don't wish that on the LGBT groups or trans groups, but you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
they're cruel. These people, they're just mocking people, and it's ugly.
Yeah.
And their ugly heart is being exposed on these platforms, like on Modern Day Debate, where they can't just trash talk and mute people. They have to sit there. You know what I mean? They have to if they're taking part, they don't want to be thought of as losing a debate, so they have to sit there. And what we do is, instead of seeing like honesty, we just see like ugliness. Anyways, I don't want to dwell
Yeah.
on that too much, but you know what I mean? It's like there's a
Yeah.
lot of
I know.
issues, and
It's
I
like
don't
it's
think anyone
always
should get
open
harassed.
season, It's always open season to criticize flat Earth and flat earthers. It's always open
Yeah,
season.
which I guess that could be like a hate crime in a way. I mean, I'm not a snowflake, I'm not like easily offended, but I see it's on a massive level taking place. It is against the people. It's a direct movement from a government agency or two utilizing corporations such as YouTube and Google to hide information from the people and directly harass flat Earth people, like legitimately, like harass them. And
Yeah.
it's totally wrong. It's totally wrong, and what they're doing is like they're crossing the line, I think.
Yeah. At
You
some
know what I
point,
mean?
they even promote some sort of violence. Yeah. I've
I
seen.
hope
I've
not.
seen.
I
Yeah. I've
haven't seen
seen.
it yet.
I've
I
seen.
haven't seen it. It's possible though. I mean, because of the intense emotions involved.
Yeah.
That's
I've
why,
seen.
right? I could understand that. Like if someone believed NASA and they wear like a NASA sweater or they have a NASA hat, and they love it. It's just like their religion, man. I don't hate them, but it's like, I just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know how to explain it.
Right. Someone here was asking about. There was a quote from R.G. Cooper. Hi, welcome to the show, R.G. Cooper. He was asking about a quote from John Calvin on the heliocentric model. And I'm trying to find a quote here. John Calvin, I think it's right here. He mentions something about, let me see. Okay, so I'm going to read the quote here. This is a quote from John Calvin. I'm not promoting John Calvin, not demoting him. He had his role in the Reformation. I'm just going to read here his quote because he was against heliocentrism, the heliocentric model. So the Christians not to compromise so as to obscure the distinction between good and evil, and is to avoid the errors of those dreamers who have a spirit of bitterness and contradiction, who reprove everything and prevent the order of nature. We will see some who are so deranged, not only in religion, but in all things reveal their monstrous nature, that they will say that the sun does not move, and that it is the earth which shifts and turns. When we see such minds, we must indeed confess that the devil possessed
Oh
them,
wow.
and that God sets them before us as mirrors, in order to keep us in his fear. Yeah, so it's all who argue that this stuff doesn't, you know. But he was very much against the heliocentric model. He wrote about it, and he deserves, his place in history as one of those who opposed Copernicus. He was around the same time. Martin Luther and John Calvin, they both wrote against Copernicanism.
Yeah, that's heavy to say that people they're demon possessed. That's
Yeah,
pretty intense. But it
the
makes sense
devil
the way he puts
possessed.
it down. Yeah,
That's
he
what he
puts
did.
it down clearly that they're about like contradictions. I understand that. But I also
Yeah,
understand it like there's people that don't have the blessings of the Holy Spirit. That's why they don't understand it. And they love the lie. So God will give the people an illusion or whatever. I forget how the passage goes, but it says because they love the lie that God sent them a delusion. It's
exactly.
crazy.
It-
But I think that delusion is this globe theory, this big thing. I see it in the Bible. Like I could see it how the people they could all be tricked by something, and how it would make it like they're turning from God by believing a lie. Ultimately that leads to trying to discredit the Bible, which they try to make discredit God.
yeah. I deny the Bible, they deny the Creator, and they promote Darwinism and evolution, Big Bang, all that stuff. You know.
And the evolution, that's a total lie also. It's a misunderstanding of what I understand as epigenetics. That like our body knows what it is to be a human, but every human, it's like our genetics are expressing themselves differently. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
human, but we all like your parents made you, my parents made me, other people parents made them. It's like everyone. That's not evolution. That's epigenetics. It's like I don't know how to explain it more. It's like how like dark people they live at the
yeah.
equator. They live there. That's why the people that live at the equator they're more dark than the people that live in the north, right? And if someone moved from the equator to the north, it's possible that say they have children or even themselves, their skin might change because of the way the skin is absorbing the sun. That's an epigenetic change. I also consider the a basic example like this. Like say someone's walking around on like rocks or pavement, you know, their feet will get calloused and hard, right? But if they're not in that environment anymore, their feet will not be calloused and rough. The feet will go back to normal. So
Right.
it's not evolution. It's just like our body. Our body is
Adaptation, right?
human. Say that again.
It's like an adaptation. They
Kind of.
adapt
Yeah.
to that. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not something that takes millions of years. It's something that actively responds. Like our DNA is like a living computer system. You know what I mean? Have you ever looked into DNA? How it's
yeah,
like a computer language, but it's more
yeah. It
advanced
is.
than it. And
It's a language.
I was very interested to learn that there's already people working on making computer language based on how DNA works. That's very fascinating to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's not evolution. People aren't becoming something else. What it is it's like our genetics seek equilibrium. Like wherever we are, like we are human. So our body's going to be a human wherever we are, but the environments will change. But that doesn't mean we're going to become something different. It's like
Exactly.
we're all human. We're all humans. We're people.
Yeah. Now, when I said John Calvin and Martin Luther, I wasn't referring to Martin Luther King, talking about Martin Luther, the reformer. So I'm going to read his
Yeah.
quote. That's
Okay,
Martin
let's see it.
Luther. There is talk of a new astrologer, Nicolaus Copernicus, who wants to prove that the earth moves and goes around instead of the sky, the sun, and the moon. Just as if somebody were moving in a carriage or ship, might hold that he was sitting still and at rest while the earth and the trees walked and moved. But that's how things are nowadays. When a man wishes to be clever, he must invent something special. And the way he does, he must needs to be best. The fool wants to turn the whole art of astronomy upside down. However, as Holy Scripture tells us, so did Joshua bid the sun to stand still and not the earth. Martin Luther started his objections to heliocentrism due to his scriptures geocentrism. All right, so this is the Martin Luther that I'm referring to, the German reformer. All right.
Yeah, that's some good material right there.
Yeah.
That's that's
So it's not about Martin Luther King. I don't know much about Martin Luther King.
oh yeah, Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that one.
Oh, you know what though? In one of his speeches, he does talk about how the sun moves. I gotta try to
Uh,
find that one. Like he was
really?
describing, like yeah. So that would be an interesting one to find.
All
Where
right.
it's quick though. It's not a big part of it, but he's talking about like there's colors in the sky and how the sun moves, and if you're finding quotes from the famous people, that might be a good one. But it's just like a quick one. But people put it out there.
All right. All right, guys. We are almost approaching the end of the show today. We have Matthew here. Matthew, let me go ahead and share that link of your debate Friday. Let me
Yeah, I
find
don't
here.
think they have it. I don't think they have the link made for it yet.
Oh, okay. So,
Because
guys, modern day debate. Check out this weekend, Friday. Next weekend, next Friday. Is that December? No, no.
29, I
It's
think.
29,
29.
November 29.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So you guys,
it'll be like for my time probably like 5 o'clock, maybe in the evening or something like that. Because they usually put them like that, like in the evening, so people like done with work and they can, you know,
all right.
I don't know where they're based from. I think they're like Texas or something. I don't really know where they're located, but the one guy Ryan, he's on the East Coast, and so it's kind of always around that time. But it'll be on the channel definitely.
All right. So guys, check out my store if you wanna get a Gilson's map like this, like have the red one, we have the European orientation, we have Antarctica bases, we have the air map 1943 air map of the world. This is a restored version.
Nice,
We have
nice.
the Urbano Monte, we have the Orlando Ferguson, we have the John Abzaid map. If you want something nice for your living room, I'm gonna place a link in the
Nice.
chat if you want to support the channel.
Yeah,
And
and Eddie, yeah, congratulations. They shared the map on the movie and they reached out to you, man. That's really cool.
wasn't
I
it
was
cool,
looking at
man?
that. Yeah, and I
And,
noticed
and the
on the
movie is
light,
really nice. Did you get to
I
watch
haven't
it?
I haven't watched the movie yet, but I saw the clip and even the light on the guy's desk has two red rings on it. I noticed that. Like on the guy's desk, and that's like a nod to the viewer. Like you're seeing something here. Like the red map is behind the guy, and then watch, you could probably bring it up. Like do you have the picture where it's
I
look at
have
on
this
the
one here.
okay, go to the left, go to the light, look it has red rings on the light.
Yeah,
Go to,
yeah,
yeah,
looks like
there.
the glistens,
See,
man.
yeah, see, they're putting it out there, and then see in front the circle. See the 300, I think. Like on his desk, there's a book that says 300. Look, it's another
Yeah,
circle, but it's not red; it's
yeah,
white.
right
But they're
here.
that's cool, man. They're putting it out there. And what's that actor's name? What's that actor's name right there?
Right here. We have Jerry Miller, Alona Crowder, James Azur. He is the director.
Nice, nice,
So guys, check out Mind and Distortion.
nice.
You can Roku, Fire TV, X Infinity TV, all these platforms, Amazon Kindle, and I think
Roku.
it's on Netflix as well. It's
I'll
a
try to find it on Roku. I think I only have Roku on those.
really good
Well, maybe
movie. I watched
Samsung.
it. I really
I like
enjoyed it.
Samsung. But yeah, man, they're putting it out there. See, people are coming forward. They're letting it be known about flat
Yeah.
Earth.
So
It
guys,
may
if
not
you are a
right,
movie, if
right.
you're
It
a
may
movie
not have been
director,
like the not most important thing, but it's there. It's like they're putting it
yeah,
out there, right?
it's really cool.
I like
Really
that.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool. They're doing that.
So, guys, thanks, James, one more time. Shout out to you, man, because you guys had one of my maps on your movie, and you let me know. Thank you so much. I do appreciate. So, if you're
Yeah,
making
that
movies out there, make sure you get one of these flat Earth maps and hang it on the wall.
is. Yeah, cool, right? They can't stop flat Earth, Eddie. They cannot
Can't
stop it.
stop.
Their best scientists cannot stop flat Earth, right?
No,
All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put the globe back together again.
no. PhD Tony can't do anything.
You can't do it. He didn't know what constellations are. That I thought he was trolling me when he said, "How would the sailors know what star they're following?" And I was like, "They're constellations."
Yeah, man. There was another debate. He debated also this guy on that TikTok, Angels of Light. He's really good at TikTok. He debates every day. And Angels asked. He was debating with that Peter. You know Peter that you debated,
Oh
Peter
yeah, I
Marley.
know.
Peter
Yeah,
Marley.
yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
Peter Marley and PhD Tony. And Angels asked them a question. One said yes, and the other said no at the
Oh
same time.
yeah. I remember
The
that.
very
I
same
remember
time.
that. I laughed so much when I
Yeah.
saw that because I usually laugh at the absurdities, right? But that's one of those moments that you could like edit and just be like, "Who are these guys?" And then just this is a video of who these guys are. And they're like
Yeah.
disagreeing at the same time.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, but the guy Peter Markley, I seen him. He
Yes.
on his debates, he always shows his sun experiment. So I want to give a special shout out to Peter Markley for proving two things for flat Earth: that the sun has a circular path above the Earth, and that the sun changes size throughout the day. So shout out Peter Markley for, in his arrogance, thinking he's a globe guy. His experiment is flat Earth proof. That's how
Yeah.
it goes.
I'm gonna see if I can find that clip and make him like a short clip of
Oh,
him, and that stuff.
oh,
I'm gonna
it's
do that.
gold, Eddie. It's gold on those debates. It's like the flat earthers always look cool, calm. They're in the conversation, but the globers are just falling apart. They say, "Look at my mathematics. Look at my mathematics. Look at my theory."
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
absurdity.
Yes, it is. All right, guys. So we are about 1 minute, 1 hour long show today. Matthew, I appreciate. I'm looking forward this Friday. I'm gonna make sure I'll watch that stuff on
Yeah.
It's gonna be my Saturday morning. If I'm at work, I'll watch during my lunchtime. So I appreciate you being here, brother. I'll look forward to having you here after the fake experiment in Antarctica. You're gonna be
Yeah,
the first one here after the fake experiment.
I appreciate it. And the debate is going to be a before and after debate. So it's going to be Craig, Fight the Flat Earth versus me Friday. And then after the final experiment, we're going to do it again to do like a recap. And I'm
It's gonna be
prepared.
fun.
And I appreciate you having me, man. I really enjoyed being on your show, and I enjoyed talking with you, man.
Thank
We
you.
covered a lot of
Likewise.
ground.
Yeah. All right, guys. Next week we might have Russian Vids here. We've been talking, and I'm excited about his take on this final experiment as well. So it's gonna be fun. All right, so guys, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Matthew. I'm gonna close with David J. Carroll, Strato Curious song. Matthew, we'll be in touch, okay, brother?
All right, talk to you later.
All right, guys, see you later. Bye bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Picard, 1931. first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air, view stratospherius, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon with photos and instruments sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles up, 10th air pressure, up a dead drop in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, awesome, yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, let there be light, supernatural, eternal, supernatural. Up we go, higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulonimbus, higher than air, high level horizon, 360 around us, but right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve around us, to forever, short time past, intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we keep you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air, a level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning, no stars on the firmament, time all around us, to forever, short time past, geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air. Mystic, solar, luminous light, fantastical, magical, bright, we see through you like air. Magical, angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never you'll defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air.